Hey everybody, I'm Phillip.
And I'm Justin.
And together, we are Pajamas. And we are back. I'm going to show you another video from Tom Harlock. Introduced Justin to him prior with the James Charles video. I went into it in that video how I fell down the YouTube rabbit hole with originally Nikocado Avocado when I realized that I used to talk to that dude. And then I saw what he has become since the 5-6 years ago that I did talk to him. And then the YouTube rabbit hole led me. And then I think it was from 16 Leo I found on the side of his video was Tom Harlock, and I was very intrigued. I'm like, okay. Like, once you've seen so many videos on a topic, you've kind of seen all the videos on a topic. So I was like, I'll watch this. And I was glad I did. And I knew 30 seconds in, I was like, I have to show this person to Justin.
I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, I was like, this is another one that that speaks to you because they are you. Yeah. And that's in a positive way. I said in the last video that I think Tom is onto something here with his persona. I compared it to Screen Rant and the Pitch Meetings video where you could see Ryan over the years start getting in, like, honing and crafting, fine-tuning the characters. And I think this persona we're seeing in real time, we're seeing Tom really, because I think this video even more kind of like just kind of hones this persona he's going for. It's just wonderful. So we're gonna see if you see what I mean by the character being a little more that kind of thing. I can't do it, but pretend that I do and can. So let's check this out. Be prepared to see some things. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
But I am reborn from the ashes of my own destruction. And if I'm rising like a phoenix, Nikocado Avocado is an internet persona created by 29-year-old Nicholas Perry, showing us the ins and outs of, well, his mouth and arsehole, I suppose.
You guys, I just pooped. I just freaking pooped.
Primarily a mukbang channel, a South Korean concept meaning to eat whilst broadcasting, which of course has been bastardized by the USA. And with thousands of videos, millions of subscribers and billions of views, the state's biggest state is Mr. Nicholas. Nick has gained a reputation in the digital world for his soap opera antics, gobbling shite loads, and painting the walls brown.
What the
But Nick hasn't always been this loose. Clips available online show an unrecognisable, so to witness a man go from May Queen in Midsummer to bedbound Dumbo cosplay, well boys, consider my interest peaked. Ow! This is an emotional and turbulent roller coaster that I couldn't help but fast track myself onto.
1, 2, 3, go!
In an effort to determine what's wrong with Nikocado Avocado.
Just because I'm vegan doesn't mean that my entire life has to be about veganism.
Yeah, he's a bit wet behind the ears, but he's clean and coherent, a far cry from the goblin we see today.
Please don't tell me.
It was his love of avocados that earned him the moniker he goes by to this day. A combination of, because most vegans I know are a bit loud, but by the looks of things, Nick was that annoying vegan, so get back in your box, mate.
People are crazy. The vegans on YouTube are just crazy.
But back then, Nick had a shred of dignity and a pet bird on his shoulder, so I could understand the gimmick, with each video garnering hundreds of thousands of views.
So let's see how much I weigh. I don't even know. I think 160, maybe 160. That has to be wrong. Guys, I'm 200 pounds.
I mean, if you wanted a good dairy-free cheese alternative, look no further than my slice, mate. Melts in your mouth and everything. I promise I do wash my knob. In the 12-minute video, the couple gush over each slice. One lass 4 years ago commented, "I'm curious to see whether he will gain weight." Well, darling, wonder no more, because I'm here from the future to satiate your curiosity. He's absolutely massive. Other users expressed their disappointment. Oh, I'm no nutritional expert, but my body's been surviving off nothing but caffeine, cancer sticks and the occasional granola bar for years. And my brain is thriving. I haven't had a single thought in about 4 weeks, but still. Hang on, I think I've had a firing neuron, boys. Maybe I am a vegan. I'm wearing half a cow. Never mind, back to the video.
It is annoying to have to. Is that vegan? Is that vegan too? Oh, now I have to vegan. Oh.
Sure, he'd shown discontent with the community before, but he had never been actively anti-vegan, so to see the once cheery, parrot-adorned avocado muncher sob over the ramifications of chewing plants was new territory.
This earth is doomed whether we're here or not.
Citing chronic exhaustion as a result of denying his body certain food groups.
When I was a raw foodist, I felt like I was a zombie. My personality, my true sense of personality was gone.
With the waterworks in full effect, Nick had unlocked a new way of gaining attention. I can't stand being in hot water, boys. It stresses me right out. I do like profiting from it, though. What? These turtlenecks aren't going to pay for himself.
I don't know what to say. Going vegan is not going to solve the Earth's problems.
Going vegan may not fix the Earth's problems, but therapy might put a dent in yours.
Being alive is a selfish thing. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. No, the reality is to have life, you must take life. This is why people see veganism as a crazy religion.
Due to Nick's unhinged methods of communication, in one video posted March 24th, 2017, titled, "I'm getting fat and I don't know why," Nick declares an emergency.
I don't know why. I have a fast metabolism. I work out 3 times a week.
Fucking hell, mate, it's hardly a medical mystery, is it? Not exactly one for Agatha.
What is this? Sloth. Would you like some more?
Oh, and he had a sloth for a bit, but they revolt me, so I'm choosing to ignore that moment in time. Videos such as Fire Taki Noodles and the 25,000 calorie challenge gained millions of views, but as Nick's channel grew, so did he.
I'm blessed with a really high metabolism. I mean, even though I gained like 50 pounds since I started this, you guys would have gained probably 200 by now, let's be real.
The two would meet after a chance encounter on a Facebook page for fruity vegans.
We were walking around, it was so beautiful, and all of a sudden he opened up an avocado, and there was a ring inside, and I was like, what?
But building a garden together doesn't ensure a bed of roses, and issues surrounding the boys' relationship had surfaced previously, and it was on one of these excursions that Nick decided to get dicked down by a grand total of 12 men!
There were 12 people in total. Putting that out there, I'm forever going to be shamed. But you know, I'm
You
human.
remember.
And if that wasn't bad enough, he only went and gave all in bloody knob rot. At least I hope it wasn't bloody.
I mean, it's not like you've been collecting more bugs anymore, like you stopped that hobby.
With the threat of deportation looming over their heads, stress levels increased tenfold, and so did the theatrics. And from here, things took a rapid downturn.
You're not the man that I fell in love with when I first found you.
I mean, I don't really give a shit. In the nicest possible way, if you boys can't respect each other, why on earth should I take you seriously? I would have an ounce of sympathy for the lads, but everything they do is for clicks and views.
I just got in an argument, a fight with Orlin, and I know it's my fault, and I just can't help it, and also, like, it's his fault too, and I don't know.
Over the years, a lot of people have expressed their concerns for Orlin. How do we save? Well, hold your horses, boys, because I can guarantee you every inch of this is planned. These lads would have sat down years ago and decided to throw away every shred of dignity they own in exchange for wealth beyond their wildest dreams. If I wasn't so irrevocably in love with myself, I'd probably join you. The boys did get back together if you're concerned, not that you should be.
297.0 down.
That's it.
As a general rule on YouTube, as is life, birds of a feather flock together. The beauty lot of mates, kind of. The gamer gimps are pally, and the commentary community are often seen mingling. Without me. Didn't want an invitation anyway, boys. And the mukbang circuit isn't much different. From Hungry Fat Chick to Trisha Paytas, Nick would collaborate on eating shows across the internet. Trish, Zach and Nick sit in silence as they slurp up nuclear fire noodles. and over 45 million people watched it. Unless you're an MMA fighter that's been jabbed in the head one too many times, this shouldn't be your version of entertainment, boys. And if it is, you need to have your human rights stripped away from you. Imagine if I had the power to... I'd probably starve myself, let's be honest.
Yeah, baby. Beauty bite.
If you leave out the kinky side, and trust me boys, there's definitely a kinky side, and I know what you boys are thinking, can something be pink and intense? Well, the answer's yes. And the name is Trisha Paytas. 2019 would see two of the internet's biggest trolls battle it out. I've been ghosted by my own will to live for 3 months. Don't see me complaining about it, do ya? Maybe do a little bit. In 2017, before the sloppy times, Nick was a big fan of Trisha. Nick needed to visit the States per his visa requirements, so to go to Los Angeles and collaborate with Trisha would make an inevitable trip worthwhile. I would go into more detail, but it's just messes being messes, boys. They're both as dense as dying stars, not a single reliable narrator in sight. They did eventually get together on an episode of Trisha's podcast.
Again, I eat like shit now, but just because I was skinny doesn't mean I was healthy.
Well, I'm sitting on this couch. I waited till the coast was clear, and I stood up, and I turned behind me, and there was poop on our couch.
After a quiet summer of shitting himself, the rest of 2019 would be easy breezy for Nicholas.
How extreme things have gotten recently, I just want to share my side.
And the fallout was extremely melodramatic, and I loved every minute of it.
320.4
According to Stephanie, a collaboration between the two went horribly wrong when she discovered Nick taking photos of her security system and posting them online. But you have to take all internet theatrics with a pinch of salt. Everything is hyperbolized for clicks and views, and the parasocial relationships that you have with YouTubers only works to benefit them. They don't like you, but they want you to think you're mates. Obviously, I'm extremely different and not like the rest.
Today I'm responding to Stephanie Sue.
And in retaliation, Zach retained a lawyer. Crikey, what a mess, eh? If you're struggling to pick a side, I went with Zach Choi because he has the nicest bone structure. The controversy surrounding Nick continued to rise, and by mid-2020, cracks were starting to appear. In a video titled, "I'm quitting YouTube and deleting all of my channels," Nick details his sadness at how his life has devolved into a gelatinous mess.
I'm not terrible of a person. I'll let you win.
Oh, I'm sad you're sad, but this isn't a train station. No need to announce your departure.
I need to leave YouTube. Okay, I'll do it.
This announcement would be undermined by, well, Nick's own actions when he returned to YouTube just a day later.
I love cheese. I love cheese.
I love cheese.
Yes, I do.
The cycle of threatening to leave only to return days later with his stomach between his legs continued throughout 2020. And only aided in upping Nick's notoriety. Nikocado fever was more contagious than my shaft during my teenage years. Couldn't scroll through Reddit or Twitter without seeing a clip of Nick. And the launch of his adult subscription service only fueled this fire. For the low price of £20 a month, you can take a glance inside Nick's batty. I don't want to shame anybody, but if you're gonna provide adult-only content, can you please clean out your grimy little ring piece? Who wants my wet bussy? I've got to be honest with you, mate. I'd rather turn my eyelids inside out and sneeze into a vat of sand, but thanks for the offer, I suppose. Hand on heart, everything I know about Nikocado Avocado's arsehole, I've learnt against my own free will.
Overload.
Overload. I'm sending this to the police.
Bringing us into 2021, and the world is falling apart, and so are Nick's knees.
I'm winning. I can't wait.
It appears Nick is determined to troll until his last breath, which unfortunately may not be too far away.
I am not okay at all.
And the last upload on Nick's channel was titled My New Diet as a Disabled Person. In fact, the last 6 videos on Nick's channel were all titled My New Diet as a Disabled Person. Jesus Christ, mate, you've already made the money from it once. Can't you piss off and get a new disability to rinse? I sound ableist, but it's because I don't believe a word that comes out of this man's mouth.
Ouch! My rib cage! Ouch! My knees!
I just don't believe the man. Broke your ribs, have you, Nick? Go on then, prove it. Put them out your arsehole, suck yourself off. I believe the reason Nick has so many YouTube channels is just in case they get terminated for breaking guidelines. I do enjoy how Nick leans into the character that we all know he's playing.
It's called Watch the World Struggle. I love watching poor people. They struggle. Oh, I just need popcorn. I could sit here and watch them struggle all day.
And if by any chance Nick is watching this, I do want to say, congratulations on being mildly entertaining and building a career at being grotesque. You've done wonders for yourself, mate, but you're taking it too far now. Clean your sheets, wipe your arsehole, sort your hairline out, and have a day off, will you? If you have a singular thought running through your head, pop it down below in the comment box. And if you want more videos from me, you can always click subscribe. Cheers for watching as always, I really appreciate it. See you boys next time. Bye-bye.
Can fame and fortune really be worth such a thing?
Yeah. That's what a lot of people, a lot of people that I've seen the videos from about him have said that he's killing himself, documenting it for views and money and fame.
And his plan for fame and fortune is slowly destroying himself.
Yeah, the character he's cultivated for himself is fascinating because, like I said, I talked to him back when he was, like when they showed in the beginning, like some years back, and on the gay vegan page. That's the guy I talked to, albeit for a little while. You know, it wasn't like we were like friends for years or anything. It was just, you know, we were part of the same page for a short amount of time when he was doing the whole avocado gimmick and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm of two minds. One, is it worth it? Two, but on the other hand, as said in the last video, I believe, he has a penthouse in Las Vegas while we struggle in the Midwest trying to get out of a triplex because we can't even afford our own small house.
At least it doesn't take me over a minute to stand up from getting up from a chair.
So who knew that all I needed to do when we first met was do mukbang videos, be super dramatic, me and you plan this whole like elaborate, dramatic relationship that we have. Well, we don't have, like we would have, rather. Where we would fight and break up and get back together and just this whole persona, like lean into the drama side of things. We could be living in a penthouse in Las Vegas. I'm shorter than Nick. It's comparable enough to be like, I could be like 350 pounds. And
I don't think so.
Even if I could give you a life of luxury.
Oh, I'm extremely sure. Very sure. I'm actually... I would say that I'm more sure about that than many other things.
That is significant because Justin is, I don't say materialistic, but you covet the finer things.
I have exquisite taste, you know.
There you go. So for him to say that he would not want any of that in exchange for me not being 350 pounds. Just shows how much you love me.
Yes. I love you too much and love myself too much to have us both go through something like that.
Yeah. Not gonna lie though, I am jealous of the bank account for sure. Every creative avenue I've tried in the past. Like this is technically my third YouTube channel. I started one in 2009. That's, as you know, it's one of my biggest regrets for not keeping up with, but there were reasons for that, and it was all with my condition. And then I started the one in like 2015, which was later taken down, but it really wasn't going anywhere, like, to be fair. I never found like that hook, because you need a hook. Like, let's bring it back to Tom. Did you notice in this one he's a little more refined with how his delivery and his, like, the camera is a lot closer, and then the background is very deliberate. Everything's more deliberate now, in a good way. You know, he has like the neutral, like, well, that plain blue, purplish blue background with like the plants, then the chair, and then him, like everything is just so. The framing is much closer. So instead of seeing him gesture, he actually is forcing himself to be, he's emoting and gesturing with his words and his face more. Maybe not so much more, but it's more pronounced because it's a closer So that's why I said I think we're seeing in real time him, you know, really fine tune this persona. Like, I can't wait to see what he puts out next, because the scripts that I've seen so far are just really good. He knows what to say, how to say it. The insults are like, they're almost home runs every single time. He has that ego, but then this persona is just like, I don't give a shit. And my favorite is like when he just laughs. That laugh he has, it's so good. Could you see like the kind of like an evolution in the persona?
Yes.
Yeah. And there's plenty more Nikocado Avocado videos I could show you. Like, there's one I watched from 16 Leo when he goes to Heart Attack Grill in Vegas. Yeah, like I could do a whole deep dive breakdown on Nick. Just having known him for a spell, having talked with him for a spell. And I say he has no idea who I am. I was probably like one of many, many people talking to him at that time. Because he was in the gay vegan page, he was very popular. Well, he was like rising when I started talking to him, and then he got like popular. But it wasn't really the good popular. So it's one of those things where, like, just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. And he wasn't. And this is my point of view. I think he always kind of had an eating disorder of some kind. Like unhealthy eating habits. Of, you know, obviously. And he just went from one extreme to the other. He says, like, yes, I eat shit now, but I wasn't healthy then either when I was eating healthy. But he wasn't really eating healthy. He was just eating healthy things, but he wasn't eating... I am a vegan. Like, I understand where he's coming from as far as the vegan community. 100% understand where he's coming from. There is this hierarchy, and, you know, I'm better vegan than you. It's not a race to me. You do what you can, how you can, at your capacity, and for your own reasons. It is not my job to want to change anyone, or do I wish people would be? Yeah, of course. But it's not my job to preach. I don't preach to you, and I don't force you to do anything. We're vegan in-house. You do that out of respect. I cook, so you eat. Take it or leave it. I don't have time. I hate to sound like a dick. I don't have time to honestly give a shit what other people are doing. I clearly have my own mountain of fuckery. I'm dealing with like this never-ending black cloud over my head right now. Trying to figure out, like, I'm a problem solver, I think, by nature. I'm usually pretty good at it. And I can't solve this current one. It's just been one thing after the other since getting COVID last January. It's just been boom, 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 boom. And the point being that I try and be as diplomatic as possible. And I try and see things from other people's point of view. It's not my job to police you. And, you know, do whatever the fuck you want, honestly. And yeah, have I gotten shit for that from other vegans? Yeah. Because we're expected to be at a certain moral compass and fiber. Well, I am there, but I also don't feel the need to put a megaphone in my mouth and scream at everyone that will listen. My longest friend was vegan, well, vegetarian. Yeah, almost like it was like 17 years, I think. She was vegetarian, then transitioned to vegan at some point. But a full 17 years before I'm old, y'all. Before I even made the decision myself. And it was for my own reasons. She is like militant. She will post, I don't know if she does it now, we don't talk anymore. But she will post on her Facebook, she would post on all the, like, it was just like, she was in your face about it.
It doesn't really promote the cause if you have other people that are outside of it think that everyone is like this. Is this what this cause does to people?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This person is like this regardless of what their diet is.
Yeah, she's always been very preachy and very holier than thou about her belief structure. But that's a whole other issue there that I am not going to go into out of respect.
With the avocado situation, you were saying that, yes, there's a difference between eating healthy things and eating healthily.
Yes.
For example, an apple can be healthy, but if I eat nothing but apples, I'm going to eventually run into some issues.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he was saying that raw veganism didn't work for him.
Well, did he balance it?
Exactly. Yeah. Was he a raw vegan? Yeah. But
he still needs to choose his meals wisely.
Yeah. I mean, if you get handed a sandwich with lettuce, tomato, butter on white bread, there's like nothing there really for you. And this is someone who's who has taught himself how to cook. Well, I've always known how to cook. I think I inherited that from my mom. I've said that in other videos. But I had to teach myself how to cook, of vegan meals and substitutes. And he had a point, when you go to when you go out to eat, or you're picking up stuff at the store, you have to look at the ingredients. Is this vegan? Is this vegan? Is this vegan? You have to worry about cross contamination. We can't have the freaking veggie patties or whatever at Burger King made for us because they'll cook them on the same grill as the Whoppers and stuff, and I'll get sick from cross contamination. You have to take that into consideration.
I actually don't see that as a serious issue. It could be compared to many other things, like checking, is this kosher? Is that kosher? It's simply something that's a part of life.
Yeah, exactly. And it does become part of your life. It does.
All that he's doing is simply making much more of a big deal of it than it actually is.
Yeah. Well, obviously, being dramatic.
Well, then again, yes, that's actually what made him famous in the first place, so of course he's going to do that.
I could go into that. Like, I've seen vegans go back to, eating meat and stuff, and then a lot of what he said, I've heard it, but I'm not gonna... Everyone has their own reasons. I get the term preachy vegan. I've gotten that. You've seen me in life. I'm not a preachy vegan. It's a rabbit hole I could go down. But at the end of the day, from what he said, I've heard it so many times when I argue, or when someone wants to argue with me about the way I choose to eat. It's like people are reading from cue cards. It's the same 5 or 6 points, said in the same exact order usually, every time. There's a thing out there called Carnist Bingo. And it's like a bingo card with all of the excuses. When you're arguing with someone that eats meat, you just see how long it takes to get a bingo. Not very long. But then the inverse is true for a meat eater talking to a vegan. Like they could say, we say the same things as well. So I understand both sides of the coin. Part of my saving grace as a person is I have the ability to step outside the situation, look at it. Do I agree with the side of it? No, clearly. But am I going to try and dominate you and, come down upon you? No. Why? Because I don't fucking care. I mean that in the most sincere way possible. I don't fucking care. I have way too much shit that's going on in my life to should I have become a vegan YouTuber? Maybe. But that just wasn't my thing. Maybe in hindsight I should have created a character like he did. Went the other way. He wanted to go all mukbang, overindulgence, being this character. Because you can clearly, Tom said, you can clearly tell he's playing a character. Like when he weighed himself and it said overload or whatever, he's just like he's playing a character. It's always just when he was in the cart in the store, he's just everything is over dramatic on purpose. So maybe I should have just went the other way. Maybe I should have filled the shoes that he left. Maybe I should have just been vegan YouTuber somehow and just dodge those arrows and the pitchforks and the torches, and maybe I would. It's a lot of what ifs. We went on this whole tangent, but it's stuff I can identify with. And so I get where he's coming from to a degree in when he was denouncing veganism, because I went vegan for a while prior to this, in the mid 2000s. Stopped after about 8 or 9 months. And then his reasoning was kind of some of my reasoning, but then my reasoning, looking back on it, was complete horseshit. But cognitive dissonance is a hell of a drug. It's one of the things I've said for years. And then I came back to it in my own time, in my own way. And I've made a video on it that people don't bother to watch, but still want to say mean things about, because that's the nature of things. So you hear the word vegan and you're automatically defensive. But I get it. I do.
That can be said about many things.
Yeah.
For example, that could be said about anime. Yes, people will get extremely defensive and offensive of what's said about this or that character or show.
Mm-hmm. Well, shit, we watched Doctor Who. And how many slings and arrows do I have to dodge from that? Because God forbid I don't have the same opinion as you and don't have this childhood wondrous viewpoint that you had, 16 years ago when you watched it for the first time. I'm watching it as a much older adult. It's a different perspective.
I'd hate to break it. Actually, I'd love to break it to you. In life, you are going to encounter people that are not going to have the exact same opinion as you. And for you to try to wrong someone because of that is no different than they doing it to you.
Yeah, that takes self-awareness, and it's astounding how little self-awareness the majority of the population has, you find. For those of you out there who have it, solidarity. I'd much rather come upon you and preach down at you for lacking self-awareness, being a decent human being, understanding that opinions are opinions and not facts and all that stuff, rather than what you choose to put into your body.
Yes, they're actually both definitions of types. There are different... People have different tastes. Both a literal different tastes, and also conceptual taste.
Yeah.
It's what makes the world less boring. After all, if everyone were exactly the same...
I just see things like this, and...
Although a whole world completely populated by multiple clones of me wouldn't be too bad.
I sound like the master. But he was cute too, so... Just don't change me. I like being me.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Deal. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the whole discussion about this here. I said I could go into a discussion about Nikocado Avocado, and then I did. Overall, what did you think of the video? What did you think of the actual video itself with our good old friend Tom?
It was very witty, very to the point, and not ashamed to be extremely honest.
Yeah. He does it in a way that some of the stuff he said was just like, ooh.
Well, is it true?
Well, just some of like the snarky, yeah. Some of the snarky things were just like, damn, dude. Even in the last video, like there was a line he had about Princess Di. And I was just like, oh, dude.
Yes, that was a bit much.
I was like, ooh. But he delivers it in a way that, it still makes him endearing. So that was my second showing to you of Mr. Tom Harlock. A man that I knew would be like right up your alley.
He definitely intrigues my interest.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be interesting if you go back and watch his older videos and see what you think. When he's more animated and just more natural. And then as he slowly becomes more and more dignified and purposeful in his delivery and cadence and tone and appearance and presentation. Makes me wonder if I'd stuck with certain other personalities of my own. If I could have achieved something. But I like what we're doing now with reactions and all that stuff. So regrets, yes. Complaints, no. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Alrighty. Well, it's going to wrap this one up. Whatever version of this I choose to keep it as. Maybe I can pull a Nikocado Avocado and just milk it. Just milk something, just make like 16 videos out of this somehow. Put them into like 2-3 minute intervals and you have to watch them. That would be silly. But
it would mean more videos of people being able to see me.
That is true, yeah.
And admit it, some of you watch these simply to see me. Thank you.
That's actually true. There's a segment of the population that hates me and watches solely for you. And I'm fine with it. As we said, takes all types. All right, we're going to wrap this one up.
Okay.
As always, I don't have a fancy outro. So I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.